And the first one I got here is from Shot Factory Scream Factory line. This is the brand new 4K Ultra HD edition, which includes the 4K and the Blu-ray copy of the collector's edition of the film, The Strangers. And this is the original Strangers from 2008. They did, recently the one that's going to be in 3 chapters total, which is sort of kind of considered like a remake of it a little bit. Not exactly, but it's sort of, because, the original one was only one movie, and then they had the sequel, which was actually like set in the 80s and stuff like that. But the newest series, though, has been split into 3, and this, like I said, this was only a one-off movie for the actual this story. But I always really liked this one. I remember, too, this was like kind of at the time when this came out, it was kind of going back to more basics of just creepiness of being out in a house in the middle of nowhere, and these people just show up outside and they're trying to they're bothering you, making your life a living hell. And it's something about this concept is very creepy, and it always makes you too question the idea of, you always think, oh, it'd be nice to live in the middle of nowhere. You have like a big land and all this stuff, but look what can happen. The strangers can show up. And the thing is, stuff like that can happen if you are out in the middle of nowhere where there's nothing around, and you never know what can happen. So that's the one thing. Is it's almost like, so this movie too kind of reminded me a little bit, I remember when I first saw it, of like Straw Dogs a little bit. I don't know how to explain it. It just had like that, even though it wasn't really like it just had that similar kind of vibe to it a little bit too, like the middle of nowhere feel to it. But this one has on here, on disc 1, it has the 4K version of the uncut version, the unrated version, and then on the disc 2 is the Blu-ray, has some featurettes on the film, deleted scenes, theatrical trailer, TV spots, and then disc 3 has the some featurettes on the editing, and also still gallery, as well as it's the unrated version of the movie on Blu-ray here. The next one here, this is from Warner Bros. They sent over a free copy. This one, let you guys know this one was available. I'm wondering, though, what's going to happen with this series, because I know part 2 was originally going to come to theaters. I think now it's going to go to streaming, but I know part 3, I believe, was finished or in editing now, and then I think it's supposed to be part 4, but I don't know if they're ever going to actually be doing it now or not. But this is Horizon Chapter 1 here, which is, the saga film, which I said, technically it's supposed to be, 4 movies in total of it. I know it didn't get as much attention as they had hoped in theaters, so like I said, I wonder if they're going to, just put up, the other ones on streaming, or what kind of is going to be the release plan for it. But, it's one of those things, too, I'm really interested, too, to see what they're going to do in the other parts, because I feel like it's going to lead up to a very big thing, you know what I mean? But it's basically a old school kind of throwback to Western films, and it's, Kevin Costner directed the film. I thought it was actually pretty cool. I mean, it has really good character actors that pop up in throughout the movie as well. Michael Rooker's in here. There's a lot of different people throughout this one. Giovanni Ribisi, a lot of, like I said, a lot of people, in the movie and everything, though. And like I said, just want to let you guys know this one was available, and this is Horizon Chapter 1. But I really am wondering what's going to happen with the other parts of it. The next one here, this one was from Paramount, and this is the brand new Paramount Presents release. And I don't know if this is the first time that this movie's been released. I think there was a Blu-ray. I'm pretty sure. I know for a fact, I remember having the DVD of this movie, but I don't know if there was a Blu-ray. But I know for a fact this is the first time it's on 4K. This is the Martin Scorsese film Bringing Out the Dead, which stars, Nicolas Cage, and also Tom Sizemore was in this movie. I totally forgot, and I don't know why I didn't remember that Tom was in the movie, and I was lucky enough to get to work with Tom on some of my films before he passed away. And let me tell you, he's one of those people, out of everyone that I work with, I can't not tell you how much I miss him, and I feel like every one of these movies, I think of other parts for him. And it just sucks, too, because he wanted to be in Desert Fiends, and it was it's one of those things. It's I think about it all the time. I never, ever can stop thinking about that. Here's a look at the Bringing Out the Dead, because, to me, he was the nicest person I ever worked with, and, you always heard different stories from people, and, I had the best experience ever with him. Nothing, and, real positive and everything, though. But really cool movie. I remember the first time I saw this movie in theaters, too. But, how much I love this one. It's just a really interesting, different movie for Scorsese. I guess you could kind of, think of it in a sense, too, of, kind of like a character all in his way of thinking and stuff, like in Taxi Driver, in a sense. Because Nicolas Cage is a, driver of an ambulance, and kind of what he sees and goes through. But great movie. Has on here the 4K version and then the Blu-ray version as well, and it also has filmmaker focus. Martin Scorsese on Bringing Out the Dead, Nicolas Cage on Bringing Out the Dead, Cemetery Street screenwriter Paul Schrader talking about the film, the cinematographer talking about the movie as well. And then also some archival features with Tom Sizemore on set, Marc Anthony on set, and Ving Rhames on set as well. The next one here, this one was from Wellgo USA. This is one I wanted to let you guys know that was available. It's a film here called Before Dawn. This is basically, though, about this kid, who's in Australia, who's in Australia and basically goes away to war. It's basically to World War I. And, during that, this is the era of when it is. And basically, he's going to, for helping the family. And, basically, it's kind of what he goes through. And he wants to kind of get everyone back. And it's a sad movie, but really well done. This one here has behind the scenes and a trailer on this one here as well. Now, the next ones here, these ones are all from moviezing.com. And I have a link below where you guys can order these ones for the best price. And this is one, and it's also from Shout Factory, called Miranda. This stars Christina Ricci. And this is one that's, strangely enough, I had never seen before. I'm pretty sure I'd probably had like a DVD release or something in the past in America, but this was shot in 2002. So this is kind of like, I think Prozac Nation was around this time, and it was kind of like Pecker was like two or 3 years. I think Pecker was 1998. I'm pretty sure. So this was like yeah, just I don't know how, like I said, I don't remember ever seeing this one. I know she did another movie too called like Summer Fling. That may have been, because this was shot in the UK, so I feel like it may have been like around that same time she did this. Like I said, I don't know how I never saw it. It's basically, though, about her character meeting this guy, and the guy likes her, and it's kind of like she starts to realize, he starts to realize that there's like different sides to her, and she has these different kind of personas and stuff like that. It's a really interesting, different movie. Like I said, I don't not know how I never heard this one. And the other one here from moviezing.com to let you guys know that is available, and this is also from Paramount. And this is, I believe this is a series that is on, originally airs, on the Paramount Plus channels where you guys can see it on the streaming channel. And this is Knuckles. And this technically takes place between Sonic 2 and Sonic 3, the newest one that's going to be coming out soon. And I'm glad, though, that, Paramount Plus is doing physical discs for their stuff. I keep on hoping we get, because they were going to put it out, and I'm like, please, Beavis and Butthead, you know what I mean? Because I really, really want physical discs of the new seasons, you know what I mean? Like, I just need to have discs of those. So I'm like, and I want to watch them off the the discs. So I keep on hoping. And then they originally had them, set to release, and then they canceled them. And it was kind of like back in the day, if you guys remember the history of Beavis and Butthead, that was canceled too. And that was one of those things that some stores put it out by mistake a week early. And if I would have been in this one store a week early, I would have had the real copy. I have like a bad bootleg of that. And that's one of those things I to this day, I wish I had the real copy of the history of Beavis and Butthead. But when it comes to, Sonic the Hedgehog, like honestly, Sonic the Hedgehog was the very first video game I ever played in my entire life. I remember Sega was the very first video game system I ever had. So to me, when I think of like video games, I think of Sonic. Like that's like my very first one. I played it before Mario. So always been a fan of Sonic. This one has on here, though, a gag reel, cast featurette, working with Knuckles on here as well. The next ones here, these are some really cool VHS releases, and these are official licensed VHS releases that the company sent over to show you guys. They're from a company called Vice Press, and I'll put a link below too, but it's basically www.vice and then / like this, and then press.com. And they have these are official releases here, VHS releases of Dario Argento's Suspiria. And I opened up this one to show you guys. Really cool. Like I said, these are official. They're numbered inside too. So when you open them, they're sealed like this. So they also have reversible artwork. So you guys can have the original poster artwork and then the new poster. And see how it's sealed like this? And it actually is numbered on here, 115 out of 500. And the other one, I didn't want to open this one because I want to leave one of them. I like the tape sealed sometimes, so I want to leave this one sealed because it's like, it looks cool sealed like this. But it also has the number like on the front, so I don't want to mess up the number because it's sealed. But this is a really cool one here as well. This is the other rendition here as well. Here's a look though. The back, but really cool. Like I said, this is from a company called Vice Press, and this one is number 396 out of 500 for this rendition. Then the next ones here, these ones are all from Kino Lorber, and this is one that I always liked. I'm glad this is now, these ones are all too available on 4K from them. And this is a movie here called Link, which stars Elisabeth Shue and Terence Stamp, which I always really loved this movie. And this is one too, I believe Anchor Bay put the DVD out back in the day for this one, and I remember it went out of print, and I kept like hoping hoping for a Blu-ray and everything. So now it's great to have this one on 4K. The one I'm really hoping too that we get down the line on 4K is a movie called Pin. I think Anchor Bay released that one as well, and I think that's like one of those ones you don't really see very often at all, but a really cool film. And this is one of those crazy monkey movies, basically, about Elisabeth Shue's going with this guy who's researching these monkeys, and basically it does not go well. This is around the time when they were doing like monkey shines, and they did a handful of things involving like monkeys and stuff, and monkeys going crazy and stuff around this era. Has on here a commentary track with film historian Lee Gammon and Jarrett Graham. It also has a deleted scenes from the work print, audio interview with the director on here, Richard Franklin, Jerry Goldsmith demo of the Link theme, and a theatrical trailer and teasers on this one here as well. And the next one here is from Kino Lorber as well, but this is also from the Kino Cult line. And this is number 15, and this is a 4K Ultra HD as well. And this is the movie here called The Antichrist here. And this one on here, like I said, I believe this is the first time this has ever been available on 4K. And this has a comedy track on here with film historian Lee Gammon and film critic Sally Christie, Raising Hell featurette with director and co-writer Alberto De Martino and composer Eno Marcioni. And it has on here the Temper opening credits and TV spot. And it also has both the English and Italian language track on here as well. The other one here from Kino Cult, this is number 16 from their Cult line. That's what I really like too, is that they're doing 4Ks for the Cult line. And it has the 4K and the Blu-ray. So if you guys don't have the 4K yet, you can watch the Blu-ray version. And this one has on here commentary with film historian Lee Gammon and John Harrison, Dracula's Dog radio spot. And it also has a theatrical trailer on this one here as well. Now, this one is really cool release. This is from Kino Lorber as well. And this is a TV film called Fatal Vision. And that's one that I don't know. I always have loved, like, 70s and 80s TV films, especially TV like horror and thriller. Like, my favorite one of all time was the one Crawl Space. And the company, while they released it, that was one of their very first things they put out. They put that TV movie out. It's like really hard to get now. It's out of print. So I keep hoping Crawl Space. So now that Kino's been doing some more TV movies, that would be one Kino. Look into Crawl Space. I don't know who owns it, but I think that, since you guys are starting to do some TV stuff, I feel like that would be a really good one. And it's not the Klaus Kinski one, because a lot of times when I bring up Crawl Space, people are like, oh yeah, you can get that, and people think it's the Klaus Kinski one, which is a great movie about him crawling through the walls of this place. But no, Crawl Space was this one about this old couple that never had kids. And this guy who was homeless, he like went and lived in their crawl space under their house, and they discovered him down there, and they became like friends with him, and like let him stay in the house, and like treated him like he was their son. It was weird, but a great weird movie with great music. Like I said, salt that one out, guys. That is a great one, and would be a good one too down the line. But it has on here a commentary track with film historian and filmmaker Daniel Kramer on this one here as well. And the last ones here, these ones were from Altered Innocence, and this one I can't say the title just because in this day and age, this title can get you, demonetized and a lot of stuff. So basically, The Room. I've learned that you're not supposed to say certain words now on certain things, and that can really cause your views to get screwed up. But it has on here, though, it's hard to, like, it's true, though, I've discovered that now. But it has on here, though, U.S. trailers and other trailers for Altered Innocence releases. And the other one here from Altered Innocence is one called You Are Not Alone. And this one has the new restoration on here. And this is a film from 1978. And trailers for other Altered Innocence releases as well. Anyway, though, guys, that was all for the review portion of this video. And thanks again for watching and subscribing. And see you guys later. Bye.